Hey everyone, how you doing? If you are new here, I'm Nicol Concilio and welcome to the video. Listen, summer is coming, okay? Whether we're ready or not. And your girl's not ready. My body ain't ready, I'll tell you that much. Too much mac and cheese. But if you hate wearing foundation in the summer, yeah, so do I. This is going to be a no foundation makeup routine, and this is our finished look. And if you didn't know any better, it's almost like we're already wearing foundation, but we're not. I swear. Keep watching, okay? The thought occurred to me that I have never sat here and given you guys a no foundation makeup routine, and if I have, it's been years. It's been years, okay? And sometimes you want to look good without having a full beat on, and that's exactly what this is. Granted, okay, we do have full coverage concealer, but you don't need to use the products that I use in this video. You could use anything you have at home. The techniques, the tips, the tricks are all going to be the same no matter what products you use. I gotta say, it feels really great to be back to YouTube and yapping it up with y'all. I really missed that so much. I missed explaining things. That's really what my love for beauty started as, was just like helping people feel beautiful on the inside and out, and like helping people with their makeup. And I'm just really happy that I'm back. And even if there's not a lot of people watching, it still just fills my cup, you know? I abandoned this channel for years and I refuse to do that again. Although I will be traveling next week, so there probably won't be a video next week, but you got this one, okay? I would say that this is kind of like my everyday look if I'm going to my neighbor's house or hanging out with a friend, or, you know, just want to feel good and feel like, ugh, not afraid of who's looking back in the mirror. This is what I do. I know people keep saying that 2016 makeup is coming back. Y'all want tutorials. And I know that this is not a full glam, full beat, but this is pretty realistic. Like, anybody can do this. Your grandmother, your aunt, your mother. So if you want to see my no foundation makeup routine, let's get into it. So obviously when you're doing no foundation, skin prep is a must. But before we do that, we want to do our brows first. And the main reason is if you have skincare on and you go in with a brow pencil like I do, it could slip slide all over the place, and you don't want that to happen, especially since there's no foundation or anything involved in this routine. So the brow pencil that I've been using lately that I actually like a lot is from L'Oreal. It's the Brow Stylist Definer, and I am in the color Dark Brunette. You know, I normally would always skip doing my brows because they just take me a while, and sometimes, listen, I could sit here for like 20 minutes and do my brows, but with this pencil, it does kind of make my routine go faster. So I just start with the beginning of the brow first. I have had this pimple right here. You guys can probably see it. It is so flat now. It's basically gone. It's just got a lot of redness left, but I feel like this pimple has disrupted the hair growth in that area, and that's not very nice, okay? And normally this brow is usually my good brow, but lately she's been causing me some problems. I gotta take her out back and talk to her. Watch me not have any problems with it because I just said that. Yeah, now she's not giving me problems. You're making me look like a liar. Guys, Moe did so good with his teeth surgery. He had to have 24 teeth pulled. How do you feel about it? He's already acting like a puppy. Like right now he's a little bit zen because he's on his gabapentins. It's like he aged backwards by taking care of his teethies, and I'm just, oh, he did it, guys. I'm just so proud of him. And he's got all the teeth that he needs to be able to chew, which is like amazing. Right, buddy? Yeah, now the brow is acting totally normal, but you should have seen me yesterday with this brow. Oh my God, I was ready to shave it off. And then I do the same exact thing on this side. Go to my arch, define the tail. For brow gel, I fucking love this brow gel. It's the L'Oreal 24-hour brow lamination. It just works incredible. It keeps your brow hairs in place all day. And not to sound like a broken record, because I know I've talked about this brow product a lot, but you can go over your brows multiple times and it doesn't get that like crunchy, waxy kind of feeling, or it doesn't get like that white cast fast, you know, if you go over a brow a lot. And I have curly brow hairs, so I always look for a brow product that is going to keep them in place all day long. And that's exactly what this brow product does. Okay, so now we can go in with our skin prep. So I kind of have a 3-step process when it comes to doing my skincare, especially if I'm not wearing foundation. So I always start off first with the Rhode Milky Glazing Milk thingy majingy. I love this product. My skin just really loves it. It's super hydrating. And I also just like love the way it feels underneath makeup because it's not super thick. It's not going to make your makeup slip slide all over the place. I've been using it now for years and it has never done me dirty, okay? The most important thing when it comes to skin prep, especially if you're layering a lot of products like I'm going to be doing today, you want to make sure that you let everything dry as much as possible before you move on to the next step. Guys, we put up a hummingbird feeder by our window and it just so happens that Boo's cat perch is right next to it. This girl is such a menace to those poor hummingbirds. She like jumps at the window. I'm like, okay, we're gonna have to move this hummingbird feeder. I just heard her go like, meow. And I was like, what the hell? I've been loving this Dezi skin. This is the Agua Fresca. It is a great moisturizer. It's kind of got a gel-like texture, but it's actually pretty thick, like, but not too thick where it's gonna like mess up your makeup or anything. But that's also why I say let everything dry before you start adding more layers. But I really like it if you're a dry girly like myself. This is definitely a moisturizer that I highly recommend. It's just so nice. So once that's dry, you definitely want to go in with some sunscreen. This is the new Summer Fridays SPF 50 and it's a mineral sunscreen, which I prefer because I have very sensitive skin and sunscreen really makes me break out. So if you have that, I highly recommend a mineral sunscreen. And it's very lightweight, like it doesn't feel greasy or anything. This is what it looks like. The thing is, with mineral sunscreens, they can sometimes leave a white cast, so you really want to make sure to rub that shit in. And especially like with this tutorial kind of being like a summer no foundation routine, you still want to make sure you're getting SPF on you. I also like to get the back of my hands because we don't want wrinkly hands. And I know I sound like a broken record here, but you really want to let everything dry, especially since we're going to be going in with cream products. We don't want them sliding all over. And even when you are using foundation, it's so important to let everything dry because then the foundation can get like streaky or separated. So let it dry. Okay? Okay. So basically we're going to do everything that we would normally do if we had foundation on. So we're going to go right into our cream products. And for cream bronzer, I love this one from Lunar Beauty. It is so good. It's their bronzing and sculpting stick, the Outer Dimension, and I'm in shade Medium Sky. And I'm just gonna go right in and tap my brush on the product, and then we're just gonna go right in and sculpt. So you guys already know this. I start high and then go low. I do tapping motions just so that everything applies very evenly and not streaky. We're gonna look crazy at first, okay? This is one of those things where you really need to trust the process because it will come together. But again, you gotta trust me, okay? Get in our hairlines. I take whatever's left on the brush and just kind of rub it underneath my chin. And I'm also going to contour my nose with it as well. And I like that it's a stick because it makes it very easy to draw the lines that you want. So once that's on, you kind of just leave it. And you can also take your fingers and like blend out more and dilute, especially since there is no foundation on. You don't have to worry about it kind of like taking off the foundation or anything. And then I move on to my blush. And you guys know, if you've been watching my videos lately, you know I love this Rhode blush. This is in the shade Piggy. And I'm basically just going to go over the top points of my cheeks and I'm gonna bring it underneath my eyes to slightly color correct and do the same thing over here. And then I also like to take a little bit up into my eye just to do a little bit of like blush draping, but you don't need to do this. This is just because I'm a blushaholic. And then now we go in with our concealer. I recently met Charlotte Tilbury and I told her that if she ever discontinues this concealer, we are going to have major beef. And she promised me it's not going anywhere. So I'm gonna hold her to that because this is literally one of my favorite concealers that I have come across in probably the last 5 years. This is the Airbrush Airbrush Flawless Blur Concealer. And I use shade 4 Fair Medium. And I apply my concealer lower. That way we have room to blend it out and blend underneath the eyes. Because if you apply your concealer directly underneath your eye, it's got nowhere for it to blend. And chances are you're probably putting too much underneath your eye. And that's why you have creasing. So we do the same thing over here, down the center of the nose. My only quarrel with this concealer is that the packaging gets a little bit messy. But otherwise, the formula is incredible. All right, now we're gonna go in and blend this out. And I'm gonna start by getting the sides of my nose and then bringing it up like this so that it blends beautifully with the blush. And then I also take whatever is left and kind of get the inner corner of my eye because I do have a little bit of veins there that I like to just, cover up. And then whatever is left on this sponge, I kind of take down and bring it over my mouth because I do get red there. So I like to target the areas where I am a little bit red. It will help, especially if you're not wearing foundation, to have that. And then we go in and do the same exact thing on this side. I start with the sides of the nose and then I go up and up. I have a little bit of redness and acne right here. So again, whatever is left on my sponge, I'm just using to kind of clean and cover up, just get more coverage, And then whatever is left, again, like just on the sponge, taking up into the forehead, just adding a little bit of that dimension so that it doesn't just look like there's bronzer splashed on my head. And I feel another cat hair. Got it. Got it. And then to blend out the nose contour, this is a Patrick Ta sponge and you can literally see the stamp of my previous nose contours. But basically what I do is just go up and down the nose like this. I take the side where the concealer is and kind of blend that out more. And there's our nose contour. By the way, I did basically a drugstore version of this on my Instagram. So if you guys want to go check that out, I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom powder. And I actually cut a hole in the middle there so that I could get more powder out because I needed more powder, okay? I was literally afraid by how much I was bashing it on the cap that I was gonna break it. So I was like, yeah, you know what? We're gonna cut this. I take my puff. This is a Rare Beauty puff. I really like it. Tap it on the back of your hand so that the powder really goes into the puff so that it's evenly distributed. And I do 2 rounds of this. We're gonna blend out any creasing that may have formed and then just go right on in and set everything. And yes, even if you're dry, you want to set this. And even if you're not wearing foundation, you want to set this. And then I'm also going to set my eyes because we don't want to have creasy ball sack looking eyes, And if you are somebody that's like, oh, Nicole, I'm really dry and I don't like the way the powder looks underneath my eyes, try investing in a velvet puff. I guess this is what it's called, a puff of sorts. You could get them on Amazon. You could get them like literally at Ulta. It doesn't necessarily need to be this Rare Beauty one. This is just the one that I prefer. And then I also get really shiny now on my forehead. So I am going to set my forehead and a little bit down my nose as well. But like there's not very much powder left on the puff. Whatever's left I'm kind of using. This is the Rare Beauty bronzer. I really love this bronzer and I take whatever I want on the brush and then I just like pack it into my brush on the back of my hand. And then we go in and tap this bronzer onto the skin to bring back some of that definition. And like I said, this is just gonna make everything look like extra long wear and it's gonna last you all day. And then we get our forehead too. And then we just get underneath our neck and our chin. And for blush, I've really been loving this one from NYX. This is the Buttermelt blush and this is in the shade Butter Together and it's a soft pink. So when I apply this, I put this on the highest points of my cheeks, like right here. And the same thing on this side, like right about here. And then if you want, you can bring a little bit down, a little bit on your nose. I always like doing that. Maybe a little bit of blush on your chin, wherever you're feeling that day, And then I also like to take a little bit up into the eyes because I just think it looks cute. You don't have to do this. This is just because I love blush. And remember our blender with the concealer on it? Well, you can use that to clean up if you'd like. Any muddiness that's kind of going on, because sometimes that can happen when you're not wearing foundation. So just be mindful of that. And then I just take a big fluffy brush and kind of blend it all together so that there's no like harsh lines. And because the face is pretty matte looking right now, what I like to do is take this NYX Buttermelt stick. First of all, I love this stick. I don't know where it's been my whole life. And this is in the color Big Melt Energy. Doesn't really have a specific color to it. It's more of just like a sheen. I just apply that to the highest points of my cheek to just bring back some dewiness, dimension, definition, whatever word you want to use. It works well on top of powder. It doesn't separate your powder. And whatever's left on my finger, I kind of just bring down the center of my nose, but I don't go crazy with it. Now for mascara, I like to curl my lashes first. So I'm just using this Milk Makeup curler, but you could literally use any curler you have. But I do notice a big difference in applying mascara after I use a curler. So if you are kind of anti-curler, give it a shot, you know? And oh my God, look at how dirty this is. This is how you know I actually use this product. This is the L'Oreal Extensionist. I don't know what kind of sorcery is in this mascara, but it is beyond beautiful. It lengthens the lashes, it separates them, it doesn't get clumpy. You could do multiple coats. And then for lips, guys, this is like the fastest video I've ever filmed, I feel like. But it's so easy because it's no foundation and our skin looks great. Like I love the way this looks. So I'm using the Makeup Forever Artist Pencil for lips. I haven't eaten today, so I'm like this, doing my liner. And then I just take whatever is kind of like bare and I just do like some dots. Guys, this is so fucking good. This is the Tatcha Melting Lip Balm and this is in the shade Mocha. It is like the most juicy, beautiful formula ever. Not sticky, hydrating, slippery, like everything you want. Love this combo. If you guys are only using one setting spray, I highly recommending introducing two. I have a hydrating one and then a mattifying longwear one. This one I love. I think it's been sold out for like weeks. I don't know if it's back yet, but this is the One Size Powder Melt. It's really great because it helps like melt all the powders and stuff that we put on our face. It's going to bring life back to the skin, make your skin look like skin. You want to shake it up and then apply it all over. I kind of hit the outer corners more than like the top part of my forehead because that part I do want to stay a little bit more matte because I do get a little bit more greasy there, but you let that dry and then we're going to go in with the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. This is the 36-hour wear. However, I have never worn my makeup for 36 hours, so I cannot speak to that claim, but it does make your makeup last amazingly. Like truly, my only quarrel with it is that it's just a little stinky, but it's fine. I hold my breath. And then we go in and I do kind of like up and down and then side to side first. And the thing is that this is such like a quick drying formula that you don't even need to wait for it to dry. Guys, we look so good. I really love the way that this came out. This is our finished look. I need to stop doing this. I saw a video that was like, I hate when influencers do this, but I'm like, sorry. I don't mean to. It's just, God, I've been doing this for forever. Like, I'm sorry. This is our no foundation makeup routine, and I think it came out awesome. I think that this is going to be perfect for the summer, especially if you don't like wearing foundation in the summer, you know? Like, sometimes if you live in a humid place, that shit gets cakey. That shit feels like it's running and melting off your face. This is really what I do when I want to wear makeup, but I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a lot of makeup. I don't want to have full coverage. This is like the perfect medium. But anyway, I really hope you guys enjoyed this little tutorial. Leave me a comment down below what else you want to see from me because, you know, I need help. I don't know what the girly pops and what people are watching on YouTube these days, okay, besides podcasts. So any, you know, suggestions, keep them coming. But I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.